The number one piece of advice for new nail technicians. This is gonna be a treat. We got the man in the seat, Greg Salo, right now on the Biz Talk. Greg, I have a piece of advice for you, bro. Okay? This is the number one piece of advice that I'm going to give you that you should follow.
From my younger brother.
From your younger brother. Is don't work so hard, dude, to be like me. Be your own self, bro. Do your own thing. Develop your own personality. Don't just copy me through life, man. I mean, I admire you for trying that, and thanks. But dude, you gotta, I want to help you be you, bro. Okay?
I appreciate that. I will.
I'm going to support you, dude.
I appreciate the support. I need support.
You need support, bro.
I do.
Greg needs a lot of support.
I do. I have zero willpower.
None.
I need support.
You need support, bro. And I can be the anchor of your boat, bro. Like you're chugging out to sea. You drop the Habib anchor, dude. And you're just like, there we go.
Feel safe. I have Habib as my anchor.
There you go, dude. I'll keep you from, drifting. Drowning and drifting, dude.
Thanks, bro. My
new name.
My life jacket, bro.
My new name is Anchor.
Life
Habib.
jacket, Salo.
Life jacket. Stupid. All right. Number one piece of advice for new nail technicians. There's so many, I'm sure, pieces of advice that you could give. But if you had to dig down deep in the depths of the Greg Salo mines and find that gold to deliver to new nail technicians, Greg,
what would that be?
What would that be? What do you think, man? I know there's a lot, but you have to choose one. What do you think it is?
I mean, that's such a.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, such a. I would say, like anything, you have to. You should give it 100%. For sure. And then you have to decide. Within I don't know what that time frame is if it's going to be for you or not. And what I mean by that is going 100% is you have to find the right education, the right product, the right education. You need the right support. So seeking out right professionals are going to be able to guide you.
Sure.
And then, give it, all the practice you possibly can.
Of course.
And if you feel that you've built a true love for it, then I mean.
Well, what about let me
100%.
Let me stop you there. So let's assume. So let's play the story out a little bit more. That way we can get more specific. So let's assume somebody has decided this is what I want to do. So not before they decide, but they're like, this is it. I want to be a professional nail technician. I love it. I'm passionate. They've kind of like what you were saying. Yeah. They've explored and they've decided, okay, this is it for me. But we both know this ain't going to be an easy journey. What would you say to them? Hey, just know that ...
Look, you're going to hit roadblocks. You're going to get frustrated. I can compare it to outside of nails because I did experience what you guys are experiencing now. I hit many, many roadblocks. When I first started doing nails, I wanted to learn how to do smile lines. I didn't know how to do reverse application, so I had to learn how to build smile lines, but actually carving out, the whites and learning how to build the right trench, having the right amount of upper arch to come through so it didn't shadow the smile line, knowing how to build it wide enough so that when I pinched it, I wouldn't file through the sides. There was all these technicalities that you had to be able to achieve so that you can get that really perfect competition look.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how frustrating it was because no matter how much I practiced, I couldn't get it.
That's crazy.
So what I had to do was I had to seek out people who knew how to do it. And by exposing myself to professionals, instructors, mentors who could teach me the tricks then it became easier. So like, you know how much I love to play golf, right?
For sure, bro.
I mean, dude, I like I can play well, but I want to get way better. So look, I could go beat balls at the range all day long. That's not going to make me a better player. What
Right.
I like to do is I seek out professionals. I hire coaches. I practice a lot of times not hitting the ball. I just practice, positioning.
Yeah.
Okay, so what that does is it gets your body used to, gets your muscles, it gets your nerves used to certain positions,
Right,
so that
right.
when you actually go out into the course, you don't have nerves. Okay.
Right.
So if you apply that to doing nails, okay, so same thing, right? Your hands, you're not used to you're not used to holding the client, you're not used to balancing, you're not used to not shaking. All of these basically motor functions, like you develop stronger motor functions, not just with practice, but with proper technique. So if you seek out professionals who can show you, watching it on YouTube is fantastic. Like, we live in an age right now where there's unlimited.
You didn't have that.
No, I mean, I was VHS or DVD.
Right.
And honestly, that was like, like rewind, watch,
God,
rewind. I mean, remember, like, it
Yeah.
was like, you can't just like scroll right back and just watch it. It took forever. Where, back then it was like I had to stand over someone's shoulder and watch and then ask questions. And then I had to, there were so many people that I've hired to sit and watch them do the nail, I do the nail, watch them do the nail, I do the nail, over and over and over again. We kind of have that right now, in this, this time, this unusual time that we're living in right now. Thank goodness we have technology like
For sure.
FaceTime and some of the things where, you can actually get in high definition and see what they're doing.
Completely.
I would literally, if you love it, seek out the right mentors who are not going to overcharge you.
Right.
Like, who are willing to share their expertise. And I find that a lot of people out there that look, there's a lot of people out there that are willing to do that. There, some of them are very, secretive about the stuff that they have, and I get it.
No, that's out there for sure.
Everybody's like that.
Yeah, it's been a problem, I think, in the industry for a long time, where a lot of pros don't want to share their quote unquote secrets, which is why we would find so many people come to our booth, because we were like, we're going to show you everything right now. But I like the, seek higher education, more education, find your mentors to help guide you. I mean,
ask questions.
I mean, it's what we did when it came to even changing our business, over the last 4 years.
Correct.
I mean, we were on the right path already, but, I would listen to a lot of Gary V, and even though I'd never talked to him in person, it was like, I'd still consume all his content and be like, awesome, we're on the right track. Oh my God, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. And then eventually I went, they had a program that was available during that time.
Change our business.
Where we were able to connect directly with Vayner mentors. Yeah, absolutely. And so we have like the, what do you call it? The OWC. We haven't because of COVID.
Correct.
But it'll come back eventually. We'll have that program back eventually where
hands-on.
Hands-on. You can come out. In the meantime, though, I think that's great, dude. Like, don't try to figure everything out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the Zoom classes on Monday where they can communicate with you or with somebody else. Whatever.
Ask questions, DM us, or your mentors that you find highly attractive with the work and technique that they do. It's one thing watching it over and over and over again, but sometimes there are subtleties that you don't pick up with.
Yeah. Oh my God, totally.
And what I mean by that is pressure. So let's kind of compare that to jiu-jitsu, right? It's like one thing watching your coach, show you a move, and then you apply it and he's like, you don't have the right pressure, right? It's all about pressure. It's about limiting space. I mean, there's so many subtleties that
Very
make
subtle.
you an assassin compared to like
No, as a white belt, you
correct.
but it's a great comparison because when you start in nails, you are a white belt, and so you don't understand how much pressure to apply the powder, how much liquid to pick up, how much
Correct.
you should hit it off the side of the dish to get. You don't understand those details.
To be a nail ninja, right? To move up the ranks from white, blue, purple, brown, black, all the way to the top, there are stages. And there are fundamentals like for every. So I would have to say if we break it all down, right, to what you should be focusing on is the fundamentals.
This is great. This is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really does come to, especially, and I would say there are fundamentals to all applications. There's fundamentals to acrylic. There's fundamentals to gel. There are fundamentals to gel polish.
Right.
Because you're holding different devices, the way you balance, the way you're actually positioning your hands, holding the clients. There's fundamentals to electric filing, like so. All of these stages, right? You're not going to be a nail master by just mastering acrylic.
Right.
You have to know how to master holding a hand file,
Right.
How to use an electric file, how to hold a brush, how to balance with a brush. I mean, there's so many. But the good news is it's not like there's thousands, right? I would say there's probably maybe 10 real strong fundamentals that you should be focusing on that will strengthen your motor skills so that you can apply it to gel, hard gel, everything across. And then once you have that balance and you have that feel and you understand pressure, then the learning curve literally goes like
through the ceiling.
this. Yeah, it does.
Well, it's like somebody that sees, watches a video and sees like this amazing nail art. And they're like, I'm going to start doing that. And they just start doing it with no structure, no fundamentals.
Correct.
Your nail's going to fall apart. It's not going to last if you don't have the right upper arch, if you don't have the right understand shaping, if you're not filing properly, if you're not properly, if you're not, bulk reducing, whatever all those things are, you have to do them with the right fundamentals or else you got no nail art. You can't just go to nail art. You got to start from the beginning and get those basics, correct.
Oh yeah. I mean, we just came out with new forms, and sculpting long nails is completely different than doing active length nails.
Right.
Because you're using way more product. So it's a lot easier to build something burly, right? And then when you're done, you're like, oh my God, I got to break out the jackhammer, right? and so it's understanding how much to apply and how to set yourself up so that you don't file. You're still going to have to file more if you're building longer length, but you want to be able to know how to build the structure properly so that you don't spend, 2 hours filing instead of, say, 35, 40 minutes.
And I mean, if you go to the core of it, right, an active length nail and a stiletto, they still have to have the same sort of fundamentals, right? Their upper arch, they have to have an upper arch. They have to both, even though they're using more product, it's like because it's a longer nail, the upper arch maybe will move a little bit more. It's got to have an upper arch to hold that structure.
You have to have body. You have to have more body based on the length. But look, all nails, it doesn't matter. The cuticle areas, I'm not just talking the very, very back end of the nail. I'm talking the whole perimeter.
Right.
It's all the same.
Right. Exactly. So the fundamentals apply.
Correct. To all shapes.
To all the shapes and forms. But you have to you're going to use more product. You're going to do things.
Correct.
Like the nails, obviously, because they look different, there's different techniques, but the fundamentals are going to remain the same.
I mean, picking up acrylic and setting it down. How many of you guys right now that are just starting?
Dude, that's hard.
Well, look, I mean, you're frustrated, right? Because your brush gets clogged with acrylic. So after 5 minutes of working, you're like, what the? Like I can't do anything anymore because my brush is jacked up. Like understanding how to keep your brush clean throughout your work is going to guarantee that you can continue to work with your tools being in good form.
Yeah.
So we show you how to do that as well.
Yeah.
It's all fundamentals so that you can set yourself up for success with whatever technique you're trying to learn.
So I would say, like, just breaking down what you've said, they're all kind of one thing. It's like, make sure your education, seeking it out with a mentor.
Correct.
Right. And then within that, it's focus on your fundamentals.
Yes.
In the beginning, you've got to focus on your fundamentals.
Oh, it's the key and core to your success. Even as an advanced nail technician, you have to really stick to those fundamentals so that you stay on time.
So funny when I was, Greg and I are talking about jiu-jitsu. We always talk about jiu-jitsu. We always talk about it on the podcast also because we can't help it. We're just obsessed. And I recently got promoted to blue belt, and one of the guys, right, that I've been taking privates from, there was another guy that was like giving me advice. He was like, oh, now that you're a blue belt, you have to like experiment and try this and try that. And this guy, he's a brown belt.
Upper belt.
He's an upper belt. He said, everything he said, don't do. He said it in front of him. He's like, everything he said, do not do. Totally. And we started laughing. He's like, you have to always focus on the fundamentals. That never changes.
Correct.
And he's like, and you've been doing that. That's what got you, to being promoted. You're doing a great job of it. He's like, do not change fundamentals.
That's why white belts. Key. That's why white belts can't submit you, dude.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, there's that there's upper belts out there that just have poor technique, and a lower belt can sneak one in every once in a while.
Every once in a while. It's very rare. It's very rare because
like I could do to him.
Will never happen. Not gonna happen, bro. Maybe one day we'll see, but chances are,
as long as I learn, that's all that matters. I'm cool.
But you're a fool. Greg's cool and he's a fool. No, but again, going back to nail, I think it applies to everything.
It does.
You have to keep fundamentals, at front of mind always. No matter if you're, doing speed, if you're doing nail art, whatever type of nails you're doing, your core fundamentals have to be there in the nail, the structure, the shaping, the filing, all that.
I could think of every type of nail application you can imagine. I mean, even with color powder application, there are fundamentals that will prevent you from building, a building on the nail.
Right.
It's like, you don't want the customer walking out with that shape. Like,
exactly.
Wow, man, that's pretty hot.
I'm like, building nail art.
Yeah. So, and you can easily get carried away if you don't know the right amount to pick up, how to set it down, how to blend, how to like. There's so many fundamentals to great application, and it's not color. It's just the small subtleties of the steps you have to take in order to set you up so that you don't have, say, too much filing to do. I'm using that as an example, but across the board on all nail application, it doesn't matter what it is, there are fundamentals. And that's why I focus on that all the time.
Yeah. If you look at all the content that we're pulling in the videos, it's like constantly reviewing and going over those fundamentals.
And it never gets old
because
you could take it from many different angles and many different approaches. And there's always people that are going to learn at different stages of growth, to achieve a very high level of nails. It does take time, but our job is to basically reduce the time it takes for you to reach that level. It's still going to take time, but we want to make sure that you're doing it with a strong foundation.
100%. So the takeaway today's video, try to find mentor, key, education, and on top of that, fundamentals. And finally, I'm cool. He's a fool. Want to thank you guys so much for joining us today on the Biz Talk. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts. What is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody new? And also any new videos you want us to make. What do you want to see? Comments below. Thank you, Greg, for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on the Biz Talk.